Welcome back to timer programming. The examples which we consider in our last video is in that example the program is given, the initial value in the TL and TH register is already present and you have to find out the time delay or the frequency for that program. Now the next example is the next category or the next type of example is in that example the time delay is given. You have to find the initial value in a TL and TH register and then write a program accordingly. Now here to find the initial value, we already considered that a time delay is given. We know that whatever the frequency is given or whatever the standard frequency is, crystal frequency 11.0592, that frequency is giving you the time delay called as 1.085. So we divide 5 milliseconds with this value and we are getting a clock. So whatever the clocks we are getting, that we are subtracting from the 65536 because it is a 16-bit mode. So we are subtracting and we are getting a value, and that value we load the TH and TL register with that value. So in this way we can find out, we can load the TH and TL register with the value. Now the next example, in this example the time delay is given. Now the next example is in that the frequency is given. Like here we want to generate a square wave. So high and low, these two portions are there in a square wave. So 1/2 for the one portion. So here the 2 kilohertz, that is a frequency is given. So whatever the frequency is given, we know that how to calculate the time. So time is nothing but 1 upon frequency. So accordingly that the 500 microsecond, the period of square wave is given, and 1/2 of it for the high and low portion, and that's why the 250 microsecond. So 250 divided by 1.085. So whatever the value we are getting, subtracting from the 65535, we are getting some value that is converted into the hexadecimal value. So whatever the hexadecimal value we are getting, from that value divide into the two parts, FF we put into a TH register and 1A we consider into TL register, and in this way you write a program. The remaining part of the program is same one. So only we are identifying the TH and TL register. Now the same type of thing we are using in the assignment number 10 called as serial port programming. So in that serial port programming, here we set some value in a TH and TL register. That then we say we need to start our timer, and that's why the set bit TR, this instruction is obviously required. To check the timer flag, we write an instruction called as a jump if not beat. Okay, so this is what the programming required for your timer. Now again in this example the frequency is given. You have to find out the TL and TH value, and in the example whether you want to use a timer 1 or timer 0, that depends on you. Okay, so accordingly that you use a timer and you set the value or you find out the value of TL and TH register, whatever the formula we are using. Now after this mode 1 programming, the next mode is called as a mode 2 programming. This mode 2 programming, which normally we are using in our program, it is called as an 8-bit auto reloaded timer mode. So what do you mean by auto reloaded and what do you mean by 8-bit? So it is an 8-bit timer. So it's only having a range called as in 00 to FF. Whatever the value that we loaded into our TH register. After we load that value into TH register, the 8051 gives that value to TL register and your timer is started. After starting of your timer, then the next thing is it reaches to the maximum value called as an FFH. Whenever it reaches to the FFH, then it is roll over from FF to the 00, and whenever it roll over from FF to 00, that time it set the flag register as an 1 and your 1 process is completed, and your TL is again reloaded with the original value, with the initial value, not with the 00. It is reloaded with the initial value. So in this timer mode called as a mode 2 programming, you do not require to reload the TL registers with the initial value, it is automatically reloaded by the whatever the value present in your program. That is the difference between mod 1 and mod 2 programming. Now, this is what a mod 2 programming auto reload with contrast with the mod 1 programming. So it's basically there are two difference. One is it uses a this mod 1 is uses a 16-bit value, mod 2 uses a 8-bit value. Mod 1 need to reinitialize the TL and TH register if you want to repeat the process, and mod 2 in that if you want to that process is repeated, or you can say the TL is auto reloaded with the value whatever the initial value present in your program. So you do not require to reload the TL register with the initial value. Okay, so that is the difference between TL and mod 1 and mod 2 programming. So this is what a mod 2 programming is. So again the same type of problem is there. So here find the frequency, find the smallest frequency achievable in this program. So find the frequency, the value is given in a TH, 5 is given. Now in first mod 1 programming, we are subtracting the value from the 4 times f, but or you can say in a decimal 65536. But if it is a mod 2, then you don't subtract from the 4 times f or from the 65535. You subtract the value from 256 because maximum range is ff. So decimal is 256. So 256 minus 0.5, whatever the value you are getting, that is multiplied with the 1.085. So that value, whatever you are getting, that is a microsecond, or you can say the time delay for your program. Now it is auto reloaded, and that's why here the what TL is no need to reload. Again, you just continued the process and complement or toggle the bit call as at P1.0, the port 1 ka 0 number wala bit. So in this way you can set the value. Now the smallest frequency, if you want to find out the smallest frequency, we need the largest T, because frequency and time, that is a that both are that's 1 upon f is equal to T, and that's why here TH is equal to 0 0. That is the whatever the value present in TH is 256 if we are considering, then you can find the smallest frequency for your program. So that is a smallest frequency. Now after this, you can calculate the you can calculate your frequency by using this type of program is already given to you. The initial value in the TH register is given to you, and then you need to find out the frequency or the time delay for the program. Now in this program, the R5 is loaded with the 250 because you want to continue this loop, that is a back loop, up to the 250 times only. Okay, so that is a count for the multiple delay it's given, and that's why you consider that factor also, because decrement jump if not 0, this statement is execute up to the 250 times, and that's why the 250 you need to multiply. So 250 multiplied with the or with the 256, because that is a time delay, and with the time delay call as 1.085. So this is what an example. Now the negative values or a sign value in your register. Now here also you can put a negative value or the sign value into your TH register. So if you are considering a TH1 is equal to minus 200, so minus 200, that means you take the 2's complement for this value, you will get the actual value which is loaded into your TH register. So 2's complement will give you the actual value loaded into your TH register. Now the timer can be used as a counter programming also. So if you want to use that as a counter programming, you need to set the counter oblique timer bit as an 1 if you want to use as an counter. So the C oblique T bit in the TMOD register decide the source of a clock for the timer. Now there are the two pins in your that can be used for a timer 0 and 1 from the port 3, and the pin number is called as 14 and 15, pin number 14, pin 3.4, and pin number 15, pin 3.5. This can be used, and through that the pulse can be fed to your 8051, and at that time these pins set your timer, and TR does not set your timer as an 1 or 2, or that means here if you set the value P 3.5 and then you start your timer, and then from that pin whatever the pulses are fed, that is considered as an input for your uh, 8051 as an counter. So that is what called as an counter programming. Now, after this counter programming, the TCON register is there, that is timer control register is there. Now, we already use TF and TR bit, that is a timer start, for that TR bit is there, and timer flag as well as TF bit is there. Now, why the 4 bits are required? Because TR0 and TR1, timer 0, timer 1, TF0 and TF1, timer flag 0 and timer flag 1. Now remaining 4 bits, again it is an 8-bit register and it is from the SFR. So remaining 4 bits are called as an interrupt enable. That is all the lower 4 bits are set aside for controlling the interrupt bits. We'll consider that bits when we will consider the interrupt programming. So for that interrupt, the 4 bits are there, that is the lower 4 bits are there for the interrupt programming, and upper 4 bits are there for the timer programming. That is called as a TCON register. So the TCON registers, it's a bit addressable register. We already set some bit from the TCON register, that is set B instruction is there to set the value, and set clear instruction is there to clear the value. Now at last, now these are the questions from your timer programming which you have to submit on a Moodle, and the deadline to submit the answer of this question in the form of soft copy is 31st March. Only 3 questions I have given here, because all these 3 questions are based on the today's presentation, and after this presentation I will assume you understand the timer programming. Thank you very much, and submit the assignment on time on a Moodle. Thank you.